Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Predictions. I'm your host, Terry Edelman at TE Picks over on X, ready to break down the Friday slate. We got 5 games to break down today, which I'll of course get to here in just a few minutes. But first, we'll take a look back at yesterday's slate, starting with this game. Not a lot of plays for me yesterday, only 3 plays out on the site. Only 3 plays given out on the show yesterday, but overall 2 in one day. So pretty happy with that overall. This one of my premium plays over on the site, over 6.5. Both of these teams have really treaded towards the over in the past. 10 of the last 12 going over between these two teams, and both of these teams involved in very high scoring games right now. So this was a no-brainer over for me. And we got 3-3 just past the halfway point in the second period. So easy over here in this one. Wild money line lost. The Wild played their worst game since October. So eventually it was going to happen. What I don't like is the fact that it happened in this game with the Wild minus 120 favorites. Everybody's going to say this line was fishy and that's why the Wild lost and blah, blah, blah. And if that is really the case, in my opinion, the only way the books could know to set up a line as fishy would be as if sports are fixed, which I don't believe is the case. I don't believe that the Wild lost on purpose yesterday. So I'm not one of the ones that believe in that whole type of thing. A lot of people think that the books have an advantage with knowing what's going to happen in some fashion, but I'm not kind of believing in that. The Wild had a bad game. Yes, it happened when the line looked a little bit weird for them, but just a bad game for them. But back right to it tomorrow against the Vancouver Canucks, a team we'll talk about here in a bit. And Jesper Wallstedt should be in net for tomorrow's game. And then my first period bet of the season. For those that watch the show, no, I'm not really a first period guy very often, but this spot just screamed Edmonton to come out here scoring early. I really should have been on the over in this game, the over 6. Because that was another easy over. So cash in the first period here. Overall, 2 in one day on the show. Overall, 3 and 4 day on the site yesterday. Unfortunately, NFL went 1 and 2. I went with Jamison Williams touchdown instead of Jamison Williams receiving yards. That's just how it goes sometimes. Choose the wrong bet. Had the right player, just the wrong bet. And then anything else on yesterday's slate that I want to mention? The Carolina Hurricanes losing 5-1 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Frederik Andersen starting in net. And I don't want to continue to repeat myself, but the Carolina Hurricanes are unbackable with Frederik Andersen in net. And they really have to do something. The Rangers cashed as a nice dog play for me on the site yesterday. So I appreciate that. And then the Avalanche finally losing in regulation to the New York Islanders. But we'll jump into the chat and then we'll get started on today's slate. Mika Zibanejad goal cashed. Very nice. Yeah, the Rangers did really well. Now, will they be able to continue that tomorrow against the Avalanche, who just lost 6-3? Probably going to be a tough spot. But we'll talk about that game tonight because it is Friday. So picks on net for Saturday will be sometime late tonight. Probably during the late game here that we'll talk about, which is my favorite game, one of my favorite games on the slate. So you'll get to see me breaking down the games when that game is on. But having said that, we're going to jump into the slate with the first game here. The Buffalo Sabres plus 110 road dogs, the Winnipeg Jets minus 130 home favorites, and a total of 6.5 here in the first game of the day. And Buffalo has won the last 2 meetings between these two teams, including, I believe, on the first a few days ago. Winnipeg had won 5 of the previous 6. So Winnipeg has historically done well against Buffalo, but Buffalo has won the last 2 meetings. 2 overs and 1 under that finished with 6 goals so a total of 6.5. 2 overs, 1 under in recent meetings. When I look at this one, Winnipeg had their players only meeting and then went out and lost to the Montreal Canadiens, 3-2 in a shootout. Their previous game on the first was against the Sabres team where they lost 5-1. A 5-2 win against Nashville, but then 5-1 loss to Carolina, 4-3 loss to Washington. The Jets are allowing a lot of goals right now. Now, they only held Montreal to 2, and then they won in the shootout in their last game. So a little bit of improvement there. But the Jets aren't scoring enough, and they're still allowing goals. The Sabres, back-to-back wins against the Wild and Winnipeg. Looking pretty good. And then back to the Sabres, we all know, 5-2 loss to Philadelphia. So Sabres 2-7-2 now on the road. When I look at this spot from a side perspective, pass, of course. But if I was going to get to something here, I would have to look towards Winnipeg. Now, at minus 130, the way they're playing right now, I'm not going to do that. But it's hard to beat a team. These teams just faced each other. Obviously, the Jets had that players-only meeting, didn't end up beating the Montreal Canadiens, but now they're facing the Sabres. They just faced Sabres on the road, not nearly as good as at home. The Winnipeg Jets, now when I say they need to win this game, obviously they don't need to win this game. It's not like they're eliminated from the playoffs if they lose this game. But if Winnipeg loses this game, they're in deep, deep trouble because this is a game that, in the situation they're in right now, they really need to win this game because you don't want to continue to fall in the playoff race. Having said all that, I do have a play in this game, a player prop. Give me Josh Norris over half a point plus 100 here in this game. Josh Norris on the top line for the Buffalo Sabres and is playing pretty well right now. Overall, here, bear with me for a second as I get it up. 3 points against Winnipeg and then a point in his last game against Philly. So since returning from injury, back-to-back games with a point. 4 of his last 5, going back to before he was injured, he has a point, and 3 of his last 4 games against the Winnipeg Jets, he has a point. So playing really well right now. Just had 3 points against this Jets team 4 days ago. I like him to get a point here at plus 100 on the top line against the Winnipeg Jets. Looking at other players on streaks here, looking at shots on goal, I don't really see anything with value there. Point prop, other than Josh Norris, I would be looking at the second line with Jason Zucker, who is a point in back-to-back games, plus 105. Alex Tuck, 3 games in a row, minus 111. Josh Doan, 3 games in a row, plus 120. Jack Quinn and Bowen Byram, back-to-back games with points. Plus 120 for Doan. Sorry, plus 150 for Quinn and plus 194 for Bowen Byram. So if you think the Winnipeg Jets are going to continue to give up goals, there's a lot of Buffalo Sabres players with value here in this one. Goal streaks, Kyle Connor, 3 games in a row, plus 140. Jason Zucker, back-to-back games, plus 293. And Mark Scheifele, 1 game, but 3 of his last 5, plus 155. And then Bowen Byram has scored in back-to-back games for the Sabres, plus 700 for Bowen Byram. Power play point streaks, 3 Buffalo players, Jason Zucker, Josh Doan, and Josh Norris. All have a power play point in back-to-back games, plus 340 for Zucker, plus 450 for Doan, and plus 325 for Norris. So some great value with those Sabres players. for power play points. Jack Quinn, an assist, 3 of his last 5 games, plus 302. Mark Scheifele assist, if you're looking for something with Winnipeg. Now, as I said, I do think that they probably do end up winning this game, but if you're looking for a player with Winnipeg, it's got to be Mark Scheifele assist. Minus 115, an assist in 5 of his last 6 against Buffalo, and in 3 games in a row. Minus 115, minus 120. Almost made my card, Mark Scheifele assist, but not quite. And then Josh Norris assist back-to-back games plus 211. Josh Doan assist back-to-back games plus 240 here in this one. I do lean with the over as well. I do think we get goals here. What's up, Terry? Hi, Sweet Pickles. How's it going? Josh Doan point plus 112. Yeah, not a bad look, as I just mentioned. Dahlin anytime goal plus 500, has 2 goals in 3 games versus Comrie. Okay, interesting. Shocked Norris isn't injured already. Wow, Hal, come on. He's only been back 2 games. Come on. Josh Norris point is available at minus 109 for me. Would you still play it? Yes. Probably minus 115. Minus 120 is kind of where I would put on the brakes. I can see I agree with you. And 15 points in 16 games career against Winnipeg, going back long term. I like it. I didn't know he had played that many games against Winnipeg, to be honest. But moving on along to our second game, the Vegas. Oh, go back. I didn't mention goalies. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen likely for, and I'll refresh just in case we have any confirmation. No. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen likely 4-3-1, 2.51 goals against average, 898 save percentage. Eric Comrie likely 5-5-1, 2.99 goals against average, 897 save percentage for Comrie. Now going on to this game, Vegas Golden Knights and the New Jersey Devils. Vegas minus 130 road favorites, the Devils plus 110 home dogs, and a total of 6 here in this one. Looking at goalies here, Jacob Markstrom confirmed for New Jersey, 7-5-1, 3.55 goals against average, 875 save percentage. Carter Hart is unconfirmed for Vegas. Vegas called up a goaltender today. Bear with me for a second while I go and exactly see if I can find it on here. Let's see. It might not be listed on this. So I don't know the exact name, but Vegas called up a goalie today. So that would likely mean that either Kira Schmid or Carter Hart is dealing with something of some kind. So something to keep in mind here in this one. Vegas 9-2-3. So 9 wins, 2 losses, 3 overtime losses all time against the New Jersey Devils. 5-7, 5 of the last 7 under 5.5. So we usually see low scoring games between these two teams, with the Vegas Golden Knights finding a way to win. I don't want to back Vegas at this price on the road, but I can't back the Devils right now either. They're just not playing well. So when I look at the side here, no interest. I lean with the over 6, though. Now, of course, previous meetings between these teams, 5 of the last 7, as I said, have gone under 5.5. So we usually do see lower scoring games from these teams. Vegas, 3 of their last 4 games have been 4-3. Back-to-back 4-3 wins against Chicago and San Jose. 4-1 loss to Montreal. 4-3 shootout win. 4-3 shootout loss to Ottawa before that. 5-1 loss to Utah. So Vegas is giving up goals in recent games. New Jersey's lost 3 games in a row. 5-3, 5-3, 3-0 in their last 3 games. When I look at this game here, I don't have anything, which means Timo Meier is going to score, assisted by Nico Hischier. Because I'm not going back to those two guys that were on a streak. I feel like they're going to have success here tonight. Especially Vegas, as I said, has been giving up goals. I probably should be going back to Meyer and to Hischier. Devils mixed up the lines, but Nico Hischier and Timo Meyer are still together on that top line. And then Stefan Nason has moved up to that top line as well for New Jersey. Looking at players on streaks here in this game, starting with shots on goal. I don't really see too much with value there. Point props. Mark Stone point, of course, a parlay piece, minus 190, but 10 games in a row for Stone, and every game he's played this year. Braden Bowman, 3 of his last 5, kind of went cold for a little few games, but scored in the last game, plus 139 for him. Barbashev, plus 110 for a point here in this game. Goal streaks, Timo Meyer, Mark Stone, and Nico Hischier, all 3 of their last 5 games, plus 175 for Meyer, plus 245 for Stone, plus 190 for Nico Hischier. Power play points, Meyer, 3 of his last 5, plus 260. Assists, Mark Stone assist. If I was going to be pulling the trigger on something here, it was very close to being Mark Stone assist. I'm seeing minus 115 here in most spots. He has an assist in 8 of his last 10 games. And no assists in back-to-back games against New Jersey. 2 in the game before that. So close to pulling the trigger, but didn't end up getting to it here in this one. Go to the chat here and see what people are thinking about this game. Who's starting for Vegas? That's a very good question that we do not know. We do not know. I would assume it's either going to be Hart or Schmid, whichever one is not dealing with something. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's going on there. It may not be an injury. It may be a sickness. The flu is going around the NHL right now. So over 6, I could see that. Paul Cotter anytime goal plus 700 versus former team. I like it. Cody Glass anytime goal plus 600 versus former team. I like it. Great value with both of those guys there. I took Marner Stone point each minus 109. Meyer Hischier point each minus 104. Both on FanDuel, half a unit each. I love that. Especially the Meyer and Hischier point. Maybe that's the way where guys should go. Like I said, because I'm not taking the 2 for goal and assist separately. They're probably going to have success here. So I like that. I like the point prop with those 2. Barbashev, Bowman, stack 2 at plus 300. Not a bad look. Not a bad look. Dorofeyev is falling off. He's not scoring anymore. Yeah, that happens. It's very hard to score consistently throughout the entire season. Guys go on streaks. And that's why we really focus on streaks here in this show, because guys will get hot, then they'll go cold. We won't talk about them for a while. Then we'll start talking about them again when they get hot. Akira Schmid, anytime goal versus former team. That would be funny. Marner's plus 300 for a goal, and he's on the top line and power play 1. Yes, but he is more of an assist guy. We all know that. He's a playmaker. That's what he does best. But doesn't mean he can't score, but I would probably look at him more for an assist. But on to our next game, the San Jose Sharks and the Dallas Stars. The Sharks plus 225, road dogs. The Stars minus 275, home favorites. Total 6 here in this one. Yaroslav Askarov is starting here in this game. 10-7-1, 3.15 goals against average, 902 save percentage. Will want to forget his last game. 4 goals on 12 shots against the Capitals. And then for Dallas, Jake Ottinger confirmed, 11-4-2, 2.7 goals against average, 904 save percentage for Oettinger. And when I look at this game, Dallas is in a good position to kind of catch up a little bit on Colorado, with Colorado losing yesterday, the Wild lost yesterday. So standings-wise, Dallas is in a good position here in this game. Now, looking at the side here, obviously, Stars money line at minus 275 is not something that I would play. Looking at the puck line at minus 105, I don't know. Previous meetings between these teams, Dallas has won 6 in a row between these teams, which shouldn't surprise anybody. Of course, Dallas has been a Stanley Cup contender, while the Sharks have been a bottom feeder. 4 of the last 5 have gone over 6.5. So we usually see high-scoring games between these teams. And while Dallas has won the last 6 meetings, 3 of those 6 games went to overtime. So there has been some close games here. I can't get involved with the side. If anything, I would be looking at the Sharks plus 1.5, thinking we get a close game here. The Stars don't need to win this game by margin. They would be happy with a regulation win here in this game. But for me, there's one player that I absolutely have to bet here in this game, and that's Jamie Benn, over half a point, minus 105. Great value with Ben here, who I believe is still on the top line. I'll check. Yes. Well, according to the last game, he was with Robertson, Hintz, and Ben, and then Steele, Johnston, and Rantanen on the second line. Ben has been excellent for the Dallas Stars since he came back this year. 2 points in his last game overall, points in 5 of his last 6 games. He's really producing offensively at the moment. And boy, oh boy, does he like to face the Sharks for some reason. I will go over his recent games against the Sharks. 2 points, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 4 points, 3 points, nothing, 1 point, 2 points. So basically 8 of his last 9 games, he has at least 1 point against the Sharks, with 4 multi-point games during that stretch. A lot of success against the Sharks, producing right now. I think he's going to be on that top line. If not, he'll be on the second line. He's just not on the top power play. That's the only negative thing, I guess you could say. But obviously not going to keep me off this play. I think there's tons of value here with Jamie Benn in this game. Looking at other guys on streaks here. Bear with me for a second. Starting with shots on goal. Mikko Rantanen over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 118. He's done that 4 games in a row, and in 75% of games against the Sharks. Other than Ben Point, William Eklund has some value, plus 107, 3 of his last 5 games, and 5 of 6 against Dallas. So William Eklund has actually had quite a bit of success against the Dallas Stars. And then Will Smith on the top line with Celebrini, minus 115 for a point. I think he's a good look. Dmitry Orlov, a point in 3 games in a row, plus 186. Goal streaks, of course, Jason Robertson. But if you look at the odds for Jason Robertson to score tonight, plus 100, minus 105. That's what he's at, plus 100 or minus 105. He has scored, obviously, in 8 of his last 10 games and in 6 of his last 8 against the Sharks. So if you don't mind laying minus 105 for a goal scoring prop, Jason Robertson. Now, on the last show, I said he did kind of stop shooting for a few games there. 4 shots and a goal in his last game. So still a good play. But at this price, ultimately, I'm going to stay off him here. No power play point streaks here. Assists, Dmitry Orlov, 3 games in a row, plus 227 for the Sharks. We'll jump into the chat here. Sharks plus 1.5, minus 111, and over 6. All right. Obviously, robo goal, maybe even 2+ goals versus a bad Sharks team. Yeah, I don't necessarily know how bad the Sharks are. I don't think they're necessarily a bad team, but I get it. John Klingberg, anytime goal plus 900 versus former team. All right. William Eklund has 6 points in 6 games versus the Stars. Yeah, he has value for sure. Sharks team total over 2.5 plus 108. All right, I don't hate that. They're pricing Robo like he's McKinnon. Yes, but you have to look at what Robertson has done. Eventually, this was going to happen, especially the fact, really, the why he's at minus 105 is because the Stars are almost minus 300 favorites in this game. Of course, that's going to affect the prop odds as well. Wyatt Johnston has 7 goals in 9 games versus San Jose, plus 120. Anytime goal. All right. Best of luck. Next up, the Utah Mammoth and the Vancouver Canucks. Utah, minus 130 road favorites. Vancouver, plus 110 home dogs, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. Previous games between these teams since Utah became Utah, 3-0 against the Canucks. All 3 games last year going under 5.5. So some low-scoring games between these 2 teams. But I'm not going anywhere near an under with these 2 teams, especially the Canucks right now. Now, spoiler alert, I will be taking the Canucks team total under tomorrow against Jesper Wallstedt. But looking at the game totals, actually, 3 games in a row for the Canucks have gone under. 3-1 loss to Colorado, 2-1 loss to the Kings, and 3-2 loss to San Jose. This Canucks team is just not scoring goals right now. Utah was in a bit of a bad losing streak, then faced the Ducks in their last game where I was on Ducks money line, and Utah scored a touchdown and didn't allow anything. So 7-0 win for Utah there. Is Utah going to continue that momentum here? That's a very good question. This is a good team. If you just broke a losing streak with a big 7-0 win and you want to continue that in your next game, this is a pretty good team to face when you're looking at how teams have played this year. With that being said, ultimately, I'm staying off this game. Nothing that I really liked enough to pull the trigger here in this one. Still not quite sure about Utah if they're going to start to get things together here, and then I have no interest backing the Canucks in any fashion. Karel Vejmelka unconfirmed, Kevin Lankinen unconfirmed. Both teams play again tomorrow. So this is the first of a back-to-back for both teams. Looking at props, let's see if I can find anything with some value in this game. Clayton Keller, over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 114. He's done that in 5 games in a row for the Utah Mammoth. Point props, not really a whole lot here with value point prop wise. Lawson Krause and JJ Peterka have both scored in back-to-back games for Utah. Krause plus 450 and Peterka plus 225. No real power play point streaks. Clayton Keller assist back-to-back games minus 105 here in this game. Not a whole lot. Obviously, one of the reasons too why I'm not on anything in this game. But we'll go to the chat here. Late, so I'm rewinding, but thank you ahead of time, Dr. Terry. Hey, no problem. Thanks for watching. Logan Cooley has 6 points in 6 games versus Vancouver, minus 124 for a point. All right, I can see that. He has been very hot at times this season, but not a lot of consistency overall. Final game of the night here. We've got the Washington Capitals and the Anaheim Ducks. Capitals minus 150 road favorites. The Ducks plus 125 home dogs, and a total of 6.5 here in this game. Let me see if we do have goalies. No confirmed goalies yet. Logan Thompson unconfirmed for Washington. Ville Husso unconfirmed for the Ducks. Thompson, of course, this is very one-sided here when it comes to goalie stats. Thompson, 12-6-1, 2.02 goals against average, 918 save percentage. Ville Husso, 2-2 so far, 3.45 goals against average, 859 save percentage. Looking at previous games between these two teams, Washington, 8-1-1 in the last 10 games between these teams. 3 of the last 5 going under 5.5. So the total kind of up and down when it comes to over or under. There's no way in hell I would bet the under in this game. Absolutely no way in hell. Why? Well, one reason, this Anaheim's Ducks team do have a good offense. But right now, they are decimated when it comes to goaltending. Obviously, Ville Husso, their third string goaltender right now. And they've been allowing quite a few goals over their last stretch. Meanwhile, Washington has been scoring at will, 7-1 win in their last game against the Sharks. Washington, over their last 9 games, averaging 5 goals a game. So Washington has dominated the Ducks, and they're scoring at will. The Ducks have goalie issues right now. I would be looking at Washington team total over in this game. And I think Washington money line is a good parlay piece here. And the puck line at plus 170 could be a good spot here for the Capitals as well. Now, the Ducks off a 7-0 loss. We could see them respond here in this one. I think the Ducks are going to put up their fair share of offense as well. That's why I said I would not go anywhere near the under, even though previous games have kind of went under. I think we see goals here in this game. For me, to start with, give me Ryan Leonard, over half a point, plus 110. Better odds at Bet365. If you have access to Bet365, go and get better odds there. But plus 110 for Leonard in this game. He is obviously on that top power play for the Capitals. Leonard has a point in 5 of his last 6 games, 4 points in his last game against the Sharks. And as I said, he's on that top power play. Both of these teams have very bad penalty kills. Bottom 6 penalty kills in the league. So if there's a lot of power plays in this game, people that are on the over will want to see a lot of power plays in this game. But if there are, we could see some power play points cash as well. But 27th ranked penalty kill for the Ducks. Leonard, power play point 3 games in a row. So he's good for a power play point. I'll just take him for a point at this great plus price, plus 110. And somebody that nobody's really talking about when it comes to the media, Alexei Protas, over half a point, plus 115 here. In this one, Protas has a point in 8 of his last 10 games. And he's quietly racking up points. He's on the second line with Connor McMichael, Tom Wilson. Obviously, a great line with skill, but also not fun to play against. 8 of his last 10 games with a point, plus money for a point against a Ducks team that has goalie issues. Give me Protas. Over half a point, plus 115 here in this game. Looking at shots on goal streaks here, not a whole lot. Point props with value. Chris Kreider for the Ducks, a point in 4 of his last 5, minus 115. I obviously mentioned Leonard. Beckett Seneca, plus 100 for a point. Obviously 8 of his last 10, didn't get one in his last game. Mason McTavish, 4 of his last 5, same deal as Seneca, didn't get a point in his last game, plus 113. Connor McMichael, who plays with Wilson and Protas, he's plus 123 for a point. Goal streaks. Chris Kreider, 3 of his last 5, plus 205. Ovechkin, 3 of his last 5, plus 128. Wilson, 3 of his last 5, plus 170. And Leo Carlson, plus 210, 3 of his last 5 games. Power play point streaks, as I just mentioned, Ryan Leonard, 3 games in a row with a power play point, plus 450. Oof, I got to sprinkle on that. Ryan Leonard, power play point. 3 games in a row with a power play point. The Ducks have a horrible penalty kill. He's on the top power play, and he's plus 450. Plus 425 for a power play point. So absolutely adding that. Small sprinkle on that after the show. Have to. And then Ovechkin has a power play point 3 games in a row as well. He's plus 180. So Leonard plus 450. Ovechkin plus 180. A lot of difference there. Leonard has an assist 4 games in a row, plus 223. And then same with Beckett Seneca, 4 of his last 5, plus 173. So definitely value here in props in this game. We'll go to the chat here. Let's see. Gunther should be a Canuck, has 4 goals last 5 games versus the Canucks. Sprinkle first Utah goal. Okay, I like it. Thank you, Rich. Carlson goal plus 500 has multiple first team goals recently. Okay, I like it. DeBrusk still needs 1 goal for 175. Yeah, he's been stuck on that for a while, hasn't he? Ducks money line plus 120. Okay, interesting. Dallas money line plus Johnston and Robertson both to score as a same game parlay. Okay, interesting. Washington money line over 5.5 and Ovi 2 goals. Same game parlay. Irish King going for the big plus money. Leo Carlson over 1.5 points plus 191. Okay, Robert thinks Carlson's coming to play tonight. And McTavish point plus 112. Protas hat trick last time he played the Ducks. Yeah. Oh, and I didn't mention what he's done against the Ducks, did I? I mentioned what he's been doing recently, but I didn't mention what he has done versus the Ducks. Yeah, before that last game, nothing. In 3 previous games, but yeah, he did score a hat trick in the last meeting. So don't need him for a hat trick tonight. Just give me a point somewhere. Kreider anytime goal plus 200. Not a bad look. I'm sprinkling Leonard 2 power play points. Why not? It's Freaky Friday. That would be a hell of a cash, Hal. That would be a beautiful cash, because if he's plus 450 for 1, I can only imagine what he is for 2. I like that. But that is today's show. Thank you guys for watching. As I mentioned earlier, the Saturday show will be out later tonight. Become a member on the YouTube channel. There's the join button on the YouTube screen. To become a member, it would be $4.99 a month, but you get my entire betting card for the Saturday slates. So you can find that in the post section, where I'll post it tomorrow morning. And then, we'll see you guys later tonight for another episode. Picks on Net, NHL picks and predictions. See what the chat thinks. Final comment. Final 2 comments. Sonny Milano anytime goal plus 600 versus former team. All right. Linus Carlson first Nucks goal. Okay. I wasn't 100% sure on what Carlson you were talking about. I should have asked, but thank you for clarifying, Rich. First Nucks goal, and then Gunther first Utah goal is a crazy plus 100 or plus 10,000. Very nice. Best of luck. But that's today's show. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your Friday, and we'll see you guys later tonight for the Saturday edition of Picks on Net NHL Picks and Predictions.